Nice. Alright. Yeah, it's looking good. It's coming along nicely. Let's see what's going on in Blitz these days, eh? Yes, y'all. Welcome back. Ruckus here with another Tall Talk episode. Tall Talk 9, I believe this is. The video series where I talk about life and Blitz and all things in between. The talk of the town at the moment, of course, is the Night Hunt competition on at the moment. Another Halloween special. Another one of these grind out the premium vehicle rewards from Wargaming. With a slightly different twist this time. I am going to buck the trend here and not bitch too much about the tanks themselves. You know what I think by now, and I did say that it was going to get worse, but of course that depends on where you stand on this side of thing, what your opinion is of the fake tanks. The Dracula is based on the CDC, and that other thing, I don't know what that was supposed to be based on, whether that's completely made up or not, but credit where credit is due. The models themselves look pretty amazing. I'm not too much of a fan of the steampunk, the Helsing, but the Dracula is a pretty slick looking bit of kit. I love the black aesthetic and the hint of red showing under the caped sides. It's pretty cool. The mission itself, pretty much like the Tankenstein of last year, a straight grind that has been made a bit more interesting by the inclusion of the Seals of Darkness side of things you can earn, that you need to earn, as well as the battle experience. So the Seals of Darkness, of course, you all know by now, related to the in-game missions. Those, I said in the last episode, I wasn't too much of a fan on, because as a premium account holder with a lot of experience, 30,000 credits or 5,000 XP at the end of a mission doesn't mean much to me. But I do like the fact that they've included that in this competition. It's nice to see them tie together certain features of the game and make those missions more important to not just people who are, say, running a standard account or are new to the game and need those big lumps of experience and credits. Still, it would be nice for them to make a competition that doesn't have a timeline. It doesn't make you feel like you will lose your progress unless you pay them money. It's nice to just have a competition where you can just plug away at it in your own time. It's an ongoing thing, like the PC comp where there was reward tanks for increasingly difficult missions that had no time limit. You could just plug away at it whenever you felt like it. This is better than the last one. It's better than Tankenstein, in my opinion, but it does still feel at times like the standard wargaming money-hungry rort. They may as well have just made it that you had to just get the Seals of Darkness from the completed missions, because the victory experience side of things is easy enough to do if you just grind enough. But obviously the Seals of Darkness is where most people will get held up on this. You can only do so many missions per day. Is it 6 or is it 9? How often they reset? Like 2 or 3 times a day. So you can probably only get 8 to 10,000 of those per day, and there's no real way to increase that unless you, again, pay Wargaming more gold to get more missions or just buy the thing outright. I do like that they've made this a twin tech tree system, and it would appear that a standard account holder can, if they play consistently, can unlock at least one of these machines. I think that's fair. I think that's a good way to do it, and if you want both of them, then you have to pay gold. I think that's fair enough. I'm happy with that. I've been running an alt account in my spare time. It's a stock account, and I'm up to about tier 6 I think now. So I've done a few missions. Well, I've done all the missions I can, trying to see whether this would be possible for standard account users, because I was going to have a rant if it wasn't. But it would appear that anyone can unlock these machines, or at least one of these machines, if you play consistently and you finish the missions. All the missions I've done have been between tiers 3 and 6, mainly 4 and 5, And with just a couple of days worth of the competition remaining, I've only got about 10k left on the Dracula. In other Blitz news, Blitz is now available on Steam. Not 100% sure what the advantage is for wargaming with this change, whether it's just a more widely accessible platform for people to download the game from, or whether it brings the game to the attention of the broader community, or whether they intend on implementing additional features somehow tied in through Steam. I haven't looked into it too much. If you guys have more info, feel free to let me know in the comments section. And Copperfield has had a much anticipated and long desired upgrade. It's looking pretty sweet. They haven't done a bad job in retaining the original feel of the map, but removing that kind of forcing you to play in a linear way playstyle of the map. It's still high ground, low ground, two sides of the map with the factory in the middle, but I think by widening the main areas of attack and defense, they've broadened the areas that you can successfully fight in, and that has made it a much more playable map. This might be the first map as well where I don't have people complaining that they've removed the high ground, they're flattening all the maps so they make it more advantageous to medium tanks or whatever. I hear this every time, even for maps where they've barely changed the height difference. I've heard it for Black Goldville, yes, they removed the tunnel at the top, and I've heard it for Winter Malinovka, as if old Winter Malinovka with the high ground was better than the new one. And I've heard people whinge that the flattening of the map benefits TDs, it benefits mediums, it benefits heavies. No one knows what they're talking about. The new maps have all been, in my opinion, much more playable than the old versions. And in one last piece of interesting news, in a recent wargaming promo video for Blitz, it was World of Tanks Blitz. This is Blitz number 2. The devs mentioned a few little pieces of interesting news. One was that, well, they hinted again at a replay system on the way. It's been talked about before, but it would be nice to finally get it. This system where you guys are sending me gigabyte size video files is working, and I really am appreciative for the people who have taken the time and made the effort to do that. But it's far from ideal setup and situation. It'd be nice if everyone could just save a couple of megabyte sized replay file that you could then send on to your YouTuber friends. They could then run on their own system at a standardized graphical output. You know, everything would look as good as possible on my computer, and then I could put it out. That would be the dream. It really would be. 2 years in, we still don't have a replay system. Yes, we're on mobile, but God, I'm dying for that. Now, they've also mentioned an explanation for one of the bugs we've always had to put up with in-game, and that is when, say, you are sniping at a vehicle that's a couple hundred meters away, who is partially hidden by the terrain or an object. You take the shot appears to fly true and would or should have hit the target, but it clips hidden terrain. They gave a good explanation, finally, for what that was, and it was pretty much what I thought it would be, in that it's the low poly terrain sticking out further than it would appear to, and their explanation was pretty good, actually. It's interesting. I think, if I recall correctly, the further you are away from something you can see, the less polygons it's made up of, and that's just a way for the game to run more smoothly on lower powered devices. Good to finally get an explanation on that. And that's about the Blitz news for this episode. On to life in general. PAX is coming up in a couple of weeks, 2 weeks actually. PAX Melbourne, I'll be over there on the Friday and the Saturday. Another couple of you guys are going. Sid B and Stealth might be there, so looking forward to seeing those boys. Going to check out all the booths, maybe do some VR. I haven't had any exposure with VR yet. That's if I can beat the lines, I guess. And hit up the board games section. I'm going to buy the most elaborate board game I can find and force my family to play it with me over Christmas. It's going to be fantastic. And here's a funny story, actually. If anyone wanted to know how good I am with the ladies, this is a PAX related story. I was on Tinder just recently. Many of you single guys out there may be aware of Tinder's existence. It is an app where you can match with attractive singles, or at least attempt to. Anyway, I matched with this girl a couple of weeks back. Her name was Kristen, and I think she was 26, bit of a cutie. She had it on her first profile picture. She was in like a cosplay outfit, Pikachu, Pokemon outfit, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then a couple of pictures in, she had pictures of her at PAX. I was like, this is amazing. This is a hot nerd. I'm definitely going to strike up a conversation here. So I sent a message, I think I led with a Pokemon reference, and just said, hey Kristen, what's up? You going to PAX this year? And some time went by, no response. And then I got a very terse message saying, first of all, it's not Pokemon, and Kristen's not my name. I was like, what? That can't be right. I had a closer look, and it wasn't a Pikachu outfit. It was Jake the dog from Adventure Time. I just hadn't paid attention. It was a big yellow Jake the dog outfit, and her name wasn't Kristen, it was Kirsten. So just in case you're wondering how old Ruckus was with the ladies, there's that for you. So she didn't talk to me after that. But she hasn't deleted my account yet, so you never know. I'll strike up a conversation again when I get over there. Oh, jeez. Now, I got a bit of negative feedback in my last video regarding my thoughts on one Donald Trump, which is understandable. I was kind of fishing for some comments there, I'd admit. I've been following the US presidential campaign with fascination all year. I have never despised someone as much as that man. He is just the most vile character with no redeeming traits. Oh, America, you are damaging your brand with this election campaign. It has been terrible. Hopefully the wheels will fall off in this last few weeks. He cannot seem to go 2 days without getting into a fresh scandal. Make America great again is a dumb catchphrase. It is one of the greatest countries in the world, obviously. Whether you're talking about world power, military power, cultural influence, financial systems, economy, it's still the greatest country in the world. Make America great again is supposed to be some kind of hark back to the post-World War II time frame, when America was the savior of the world, and the economy was rosy and everyone was white. Which is ridiculous. America's power is waning, it's true, and that's down to demographics. Asia has a couple billion more people than America, and its economy is strengthening, and there's not much Americans can do about that. It's just the way things are going to turn over this next century. The answer to their problems is not to elect a demagogue, someone who is all reactionary, no plans, will just insult other world leaders and vilify minorities, for political gain. With any luck, Clinton will win, and some sound political and economic decisions will see a nice, stable, happy America over the next 4 to 8 years. We can only hope. America, you are too important to be electing nut jobs into your top spot. The Philippines has just done that. The Philippines has elected a crazy person. Can't remember his name, but he's waging a war on drug dealers in his country. Vigilante gangs doing extrajudicial killings. A couple of thousand drug dealers have been killed. He would like to do, apparently, he's quoted as, he would like to do to drug dealers in his country what the Holocaust did to Jews in World War II Germany. He's a nut job, absolutely crazy. But the Philippines isn't a world power. Everyone looks at that and goes, well, that's not good. But the Philippines doesn't really affect us, so oh well, I guess they'll have their crazy leader. But America is the single most important Western country in the world, and the stability of my own country relies on a stable America. So if you are of the opinion that I should be keeping my nose out of American politics, that's fair enough, but I'm allowed to have an opinion on this. And that is more than enough politics for the one episode. Let's move on to the PC build that is happening. I am about to push the go button on my purchases. Hopefully things will turn up within a week, although I don't think, or maybe I'll get it built before PAX, I'm not too sure. But anyway, I've finalized my entire build. I know what I'm getting. Super excited about this thing. It's going to be a beast. It's not going to be the best you can buy, but it's going to be pretty good. And I've managed to stick to my budget of about 3K. It's going to have an i7 unlocked processor, Z170 motherboard, and that 1070 EVGA graphics card I was looking at, which is pretty baller. And there's also going to be a black and white aesthetic, lots of white LEDs in a big fancy tempered glass side case with some nice cable sleeving and everything. Can't wait to get started. Really looking forward to getting into this, getting creative, putting this all together. That's assuming it all goes well and I don't break anything, which is always a possibility when it comes to these things with me. So hopefully I'll be putting a video out on that within the next few weeks, whether it happens before or after PAX. In fact, it'll definitely be after PAX, the videos, but that's coming soon. And then I'm going to get into Civ 6, stoked to be trying out the latest iteration of 6, which seems to be getting pretty good reviews. And I'll definitely set up Blitz on that as well, so I can continue to get your replays in, guys, and do some fancy editing. I've just spent a fortune on my tax debit and a few other things. The bank balance is taking a hit at the moment, but by the end of the year I want to buy a new drone. I'm going to get back into that. I've got a wedding next year that I mentioned that the guys want me to film, and I want to take it back to the farm for Christmas, film the parents' farm, chase some cows around, and I've got a few other things as well. I think we might be doing a bucks on a boat out at Rottnest Island here, so that would be a good subject for some drone footage. The new DJI Mavic is out. I'll probably get that. They're not the cheapest drones, but the camera is solid quality, and the drone itself is pretty reliable, assuming you don't crash it yourself like I did the last one. So that's coming up soon as well. And I think that's pretty much it for this episode, guys. I just want to send a shout out to Spiny, who came up with a fix for that hacking spam ads I was getting on the channel a while back. He said the best fix for that is you take their comment, which is usually the same copy and pasted comment, you add that to your YouTube's blacklisted words or phrases, and then YouTube will automatically pick those comments up as they come in, and then you can just delete them from within the blacklisted comments. So I was actually surprised how many of you guys out there were saying you were having the same problems. I didn't realize so many of you guys had your own channels. There was at least a dozen people going, God, I'm so sick of these people. I get them all the time. So yeah, I hope you are all doing well wherever you are, and you're having fun in whatever you're playing, and I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.